So the first book I'm going to read is called Peppa Pig and the Vegetable Garden. All right, so everybody can see. Peppa Pig and the Vegetable Garden. All right. Peppa Pig and her little brother George are playing at Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig's house. They love to help Grandpa Pig in the garden. What are you doing, Grandpa Pig? Says Peppa. I'm planting seeds. What happens to the seeds? They grow into plants. I make a small hole in the ground, put the seed inside, and cover it with earth. Then I water it. Everything in my garden grows from seeds like this. We've got Grandpa Pig planting some seeds in his garden, starting his very own vegetable garden. Bonk! Ouch, says Grandpa Pig. An apple fell on his head. Peppa and George laugh. Grandpa laughs too. Look, he says, inside this apple are more seeds. To grow more apple trees, says Peppa. I want to plant a seed, Peppa says. She makes a little hole and puts the seed in it. Then she covers the seed with earth. Grandpa lets her water it. Now we wait for it to grow, he says. Peppa waits. George waits. They wait and wait and wait. It's not doing anything, says Peppa. Grandpa Pig laughs. You have to be patient. They might be waiting a little while, but I think it's going to be worth it. Ah, what's this, says Peppa. It's a monster. Monster, says George. Grandpa laughs. What do we think this is? Is it a monster? It's just a little snail. Says George. Monster. He likes the snail. Let's play snail, says Peppa. Grandpa Pig finds some baskets for Peppa and George, and they play snails in the garden. Look, says Peppa, a butterfly. Why do butterflies love flowers? They drink from flowers, says Grandpa Pig. They drink the flower's nectar. It's their food. Look at me, I'm playing butterfly, Peppa shouts. George wants to be a butterfly too. No, George, I'm a butterfly. You can play the worm. George doesn't want to play the worm. Come on, George, says Grandpa Pig. Playing worm is fun. Grandpa Pig shows George how to lie on the ground and wiggle. Soon Peppa wants to play worm too. They're wiggling around like worms. Can you wiggle like a worm? Grandpa plants some more seeds. He drops them on the ground. But when he turns around, a little bird is eating them. Shoo, shoo, says Grandpa. Uh-oh. There's our little bird friend. Granny Pig comes to see. We need a scarecrow, she says. Grandpa Pig brings Peppa and George to his garden shed. We'll find lots of things in here to make a scarecrow with, he says. A ton of stuff in their garden shed. What do you see in the garden shed? We have some paint cans. Like we've got 3 paint cans, some seeds, some garden tools, and a bucket. He finds sticks, string, some straw, and an old sack. They build the scarecrow, then dress it in some old clothes. Peppa and George paint a face. That looks scary. Got to scare the birds with it. The birds see the scarecrow. They stop eating Grandpa's seeds. The birds look sad, says Peppa. They must be hungry. Granny Pig brings out a bird feeder. Lunchtime, birds, she calls. So they're getting a snack at the end of the day. How many birds do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 birds having a snack. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig have come. Granny Pig needs blackberries to make a pie for lunch. Everybody wants to help. This blackberry bush has been here since I was a little girl, says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig climbs the ladder to get to the berries at the top. Oh no! Mummy Pig falls into the bush. Where is she? Mummy Pig is okay, but she looks like a berry bush. Peppa and George pick berries from the mummy bush. Oh my goodness, she's covered in berries. Grandpa Pig, Peppa, and George finish picking vegetables for lunch. They make a salad. Granny Pig cuts up a cucumber. I love cucumbers, says Peppa. Yuck, says George. He doesn't like salad. What else do we have? We have a cucumber, some lettuce, and we have 3 little tomatoes going into the salad. It's like a good salad. Oh, there's George. Doesn't look like he wants to eat his salad. Grandpa has an idea. He gives George a new plate. Dinosaur, says George. He eats the salad. He likes it. This is dinosaur salad. He loves Granny Pig's blackberry pie, too. Yum. Looks like everybody loves it. The end. And look at their garden. Look at that. Looks like we've got some turnips, some Brussels sprouts here. We have carrots, and it looks like we have little string beans. The end. That's Peppa Pig and the Vegetable Garden. Now I have one more book that I want to read. And this one's really fun. It's called Spring, an Alphabet Acrostic by Stephen Schunner. Got a couple of checks. All right. Ooh, those are pretty. After days of pouring rain, the last ice and snow finally leave the earth. It says April. Can you read that? A-P-R-I-L, April. Buds. Beyond our upstairs window, dead-looking branches suddenly spring to life. Calf. Cows, heavy with milk, loll among their newborns, licking them as they feed. Dawn. Day breaks early now and quickly warms after a cool night. Eggs. Egrets, ducks, and geese nest in the marsh grass, waiting for their shells to hatch. We have here, frog. From the mud, ringing the old cow pond, come grunts, whistles, and croaks. grass. Green leaves overhead, a rug of green underfoot, and the air between sweet with the green smell of spring. That's one of my favorite parts of spring, is the smell in the air. Hopscotch. Hair swaying, each girl leaps on one foot past the first space, crouches and springs once, twice, 3 times, returns and collects her marker, then jumps home. Has anyone played hopscotch before? It's a lot of fun. Infant. In the nursery, a new baby sleeps while family and neighbors gather to celebrate. Jungle. That's quite the jungle. Jammed between an unpainted fence and the neighbor's garage, old lumber, tangled vines, and evergreen saplings. Kites. Oh, it's one of my favorite things to do on a windy day, is to fly a kite. Knees pumping, we run into the wind, strings taut, eyes fixed on the sky. Ladder. Leaning against the house, Dad, covered with dust and paint from ear to ear, climbs to the next rung. May. Mild days, apple blossoms, and yellow daffodils. Nest. Nestled under the eaves, a song-filled arc of twigs and grass. Outside. On a hill under flowering trees, we sit in the shade dreaming and eating berries. Parade. Parents, children, and a row of drummers march alongside a dazzling red fire engine. Quintuplets. Quick, count up the new kittens. One in a box near the furnace, twins under the porch, a little white-eared one on the stairs, and this calico sleeper in the laundry basket. Raft. Rounding a bend, we float downstream on logs tied tightly together. Seeds. Sown in freshly plowed earth, they grow each day a little nearer the sun. Twilight. Tonight, when the light fades in long purple streaks and insects begin to chirp, we'll gather on the hill to watch the fiery sky. Umpire. Under a rising moon, 2 teams play ball in a dusky field ringed by early corn. Venus. Visible in the eastern sky, now that summer is nearly upon us, the morning star. Wheat. White June heat begins to ripen each green and trembling stalk. Crossing. X's with railroad crossing and faded letters stand guard near the grade crossing. Young. Yellow goslings turning brown, 1 lamb joins the flock, up in the oak, nests emptying, all the newborns growing. Last but not least, zenith. Zucchinis and eggplants are greening now that summer is finally here and the hot sun is high overhead. The end. I'll see you next time, everyone.